baby sharks can eat birthday cards.
Vishal sir, I think you are on mute, so we are not able to hear you.
Oh, I'm very sorry. Thanks for reminding. I was on the mute. I was just discussing. Okay, okay. Thank you so much, guys. It's my bad. Sorry for that. I was just
No,
speaking from mute. Okay, so I was discussing, right? What I just started to tell. Just give me 1 minute. I was talking like once again, welcome to the class, right? And we are going to start this session after Cisco official. Center, mute yourself, guys. Center, mute yourself. Hello, let me mute you. Let me mute. So, thank you. It's really sorry from my side. There was some glitch. I was on mute. So I was talking like we have the official syllabus, and this syllabus we are going to totally align with the Cisco official syllabus. So our syllabus and Cisco syllabus is going to be same to same. It's apple to apple. That's the same to same. Everything is going to be there. So we're going to compare on the Cisco website, and you go there, then you're going to find this is the exam that 300 415 ENSDWI. That exam core is V1.2 exam, right? So if you want to have a go and appear with the exam, you just have to start with the certifications. This is going to be 90-minute exam, and that is going to be MCQ questions and answers, and there is no labs is going to be happen. So if you have any plan to complete the exam, then it's fine. You can just absolutely go and appear with that. Most important, right? If you go and try to see the curriculum, there are total 6 modules: the architecture, controller
Sorry,
deployments.
sorry, sir, Ram this side.
Yes,
So,
Ram.
yeah, sir, is there any prerequisite required for this certification?
So officially, if you talk for me, right, you can directly book the exam, but let me just tell you the prerequisite. CCNP in core is the mandatory, but I'll tell one catch here also. So if you go here and try, see, so this is your associate level of exam, right? You are here and you want to go on the SD-WAN. So this is your SD-WAN exam. This one is going to be SD-WAN exam, right? So technically you don't require CCNA, but if you want to become the professional, you have to do CCNP in core. And then that is a mandatory exam, core exam. And then you can just choose this official exam 300.415. Then it is going to complete your professional, that you're going to be CCNP specialist. But even you want to go for this, one exam individual, it is going to be available. You can do that. But the mandatory from my side, you always go and do the in core first, then you go for the SD-WAN. Why in core
Okay.
is important? Because if you're not going to do in core, you are not eligible for go for the CCI exam. So even you want to go for the CCI, this in core is a mandatory. So CCNP in core is a very mandatory, and you have to do that.
Okay.
Or if you want to do that certification, that is also possible.
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, sir. Thank you.
Welcome. So there are total 6 module, right? And the same 6 module we are included in our syllabus. So you can see architecture, control deployment, router deployment, and right, we have the policy, security and quality and services, and management and operations. So what is inside of this content? Let me just explain one by one. So you can see that just let me just complete like what is the weightage where you have to put more efforts. So 20% is architecture. It's a pure theoretical, right? Controller deployments is the complete practical. You have to understand some concept, but architecture is just you have to understand how SD-WAN fabric is look like. You have to understand what is a T-lock, what is a V-route, what is the V-smart, what is the V-manage, what is the V-bond, what is the NAT. So everything is going to be there. What is the WAN edge, IPsec, BFD, multi-region fabric? You can see the SD-WAN, SAS, co-location, multi-cloud, everything. So I'll explain these all things. So you have the better understanding. So it's all theory. So initially few classes, including today and upcoming 1 or 2 class, it's going to be more theory. So we'll invest our time to understand this architecture concept. Because if you not have the right architecture knowledge, probably you're not able to going to digest how this technology is going to, configure, troubleshoot, and any new deployment which you want to replace for the migration activity. So those are going to be understand. So architecture is going to be this. But if I move the controller deployment, this is something where you have to understand we have the various controller in the SD-WAN. So why the controller is important, we'll discuss. But you think about the controller are basically the brain. This is the brain of the SD-WAN. So we have to build the brain. This brain can be built. We'll understand how it can be deployed in the cloud, how we can deploy in the on-premises. So our controller is going to be on-premises, on data centers. If you have the public cloud, private cloud, how it is going to be integrated, how the certifications and device list is going to be integrated, and we have to configure by step by using that on house enterprise root CA. And if I have the direct serial files from the PNP portal, then how we can do that as well. Troubleshoot control plan connectivity. So anything related to the controllers, any controller. What are the controllers? We have the 3 controllers that is known as the vManage, but you might be going to find as a manager. I'll explain what is a manager. We have the vSmart. You are going to find as a controller in new terminology. I'll explain what is that. And we have the vBond that is known as the your validator. Okay. And whatever the CH we have, right? And whatever the VH we have, that is going to replace with the WAN edge. So we'll understand why this all things is getting changed. But we'll have to go with this syllabus, and this syllabus is still showing official. Vikas, please mute yourself. Vikas, please mute yourself. This syllabus, Vikas, please mute yourself, guys. This is something you can see we have still vRoute, vBond, vManage, vSmart. So we'll have to align with the old terminologies because still it's available. But in productions, if you're going to deploy the latest image, iOS images, so it is going to have the new terminologies. So let me show you how it is going to look like. So Cisco software download. Let me show you something. Let's suppose you want to plan to deploy something, a latest software. So you go here, you can see after going that, see, so you can just check any VH Cloud or might be the vManage software. So if you go here in the vManage software, say in latest version, still you are finding the vManage, but what is the 20.16 is the latest release we have, and still it's written the vManage. You can see. So this is the vManage, but when you name the actual SD-WAN, it's become the Catalyst SD-WAN manager. You can see the name is the Catalyst SD-WAN manager, but still it's named as a vManage. So you should be aware, if I'm saying the manager, that's the equivalent to the vManage. But let me go one step back as well. If I go for the vSmart, I'm sure you guys don't know what is the vSmart, what is the vManager. I'll explain, but just take a note, right? I'm just showing something what images are available. We'll discuss in more detail. So if you're even not able to digest, just try to make your note. I'll explain each and everything in very detail, okay? So if I go here, you can see it's my vSmart. If I go in here and clicking, see this is the known as the Cisco SD-WAN controller. That is also vSmart. So the naming convention are going to be available, but if you are going in the very latest infrastructure of your company, might be vSmart is known as the controller, vManage is known as the manager, but you cannot see here the vManage, right? Sorry, vH. So vH is there, vBond is not there. So we'll see how vH is going to be become a vBond. We'll see that. But here you can see, if I go in release, this image is going to support your Catalyst vBond. And the same image is going to be like used as a VH router as well. So we'll see how it is going to be converted. So in short story, I would like to say here, if I'm talking about any vManage, it is going to be equal to the vManager because of the new architecture of the SD-WAN. vSmart is going to be look like as a controller. vBond is look like as a validator. So this is how it is going to happen. Let me back to the course curriculum again. So in your deployment, you have to understand the first architecture framework. Why the validator? Why the vBond? What is the NAT? Why does the vManage? What is the TLOC? What is the vRoute? So this is something very important. Even you have done the CCNA and CCNP, these concepts you never have learned in your CCNA and CCNP. This is going to be new for the everyone. So entire 20% is going to new for the everyone. There is no routing concept. There is no switching concept. There is no MPLS BGP concept. It's totally 20%, 20% examination is going to be your theoretical basis, your logical, you're understanding the new infrastructure. And then this is again your new terminologies, the controller deployment. Again, there is no routing, there is no switching, there is no firewall concept, no MPLS, no BGP. So this is the your 35% exam is going to be covered. Clear? Now, if I go with the router deployment, here might be you're going to find 5 to 10% of VRRP, OSPF, BGP, and EIGRP concept. So, and static routing concept. So this is something you are going to correlate with your existing knowledge. Might be you have done the CCNP, so you have run the OSPF, BGP, right? EIGRP, so you can correlate with there. Apart from that, you can see this is something describe the WAN as deployment, JITP process, bootstrap process, data center, hub regional deployment, circuit terminations, TLOC extension, dynamic tunnel, underlay versus overlay, right? Configure OMP. This is the new routing protocol. Configure TLOCs, right? So these describe the multicast support in the Cisco SD-WAN, describe the configure the group feature profile in workflow. So this is something very new. So even if I just compare this 55% of the syllabus, out of this 55% syllabus, you just going to use 5% of your CCNP level of knowledge, right? CCN or CCNP level of knowledge, or everything is going to new for you. So that means if someone have the basic routing switching understanding, CCNA level, they have the static route, OSPF configuration, and they know little bit the BGP, even there is no problem is going to be happen. Because rest thing are, you are not going to find any kind of the routing switching concept. Let me show you 20% for the policy. Policy is the completely new here. So if I go and just click on this drop down, you can find the policy. configure the control policy, configure the data policy, VPN segmentation, topologies, right? You have the application aware routing policy. So you have a lot of thing here. You can see these things you never ever cover in your CCNA and CCN because that is also going to new for you. So this is another like things you have to understand. Now you have the security and the quality of services. This security and quality of services is something where you have to understand what is the security feature, IPS engine, IDS engine, URL filtering, advanced malware protection. So if you have the security background, you can understand there is no problem. What is the DNS security, Internet Secure Gateway, QS, right? We have the application quality of experience, right? So these all things are even going to be new, but something is like some few concept is going to relate from the security. So I'm the security instructor, so I'll make sure you have the right understanding and you're going to get everything in very detail. So you don't have to worry about anything. Now the last thing that is a 10% weightage of the exam that is going to happen about the operation and management, how we can operate, how we can troubleshoot, how we can get the reporting from the vManage dashboard and REST API connectivity, describe software images, how we can do the upgradation, downgradation for images. So these things we are going to cover. So that's why you can see in our syllabus and the Cisco syllabus are fully aligned. Means whatever we have the Cisco syllabus, I'm going to fully align and full configurations, deployment, theoretical, whatever topic is there, it is going to cover. So you don't have to worry. So if you're planning for the certifications as well, this course is going to be fully aligned for the certification. Along with certification, you are going to get real-time deployment strategy, how to configure, deploy in the lab infrastructures. So I hope this is clear to everyone. Any questions, please raise your hand, unmute yourself and ask the questions. Please.
Yeah, I have one question here. So in this syllabus, we are also going to cover the cloud integration as well as the SASE solution, means TNS security.
No. We are not. That is not part of the configuration part. Just you have to understand. See, let me show you again. This is something security point of view. You just have to describe. You have to understand theoretically. Service insertion will definitely do that. Whatever the configuration, keywords we can cover. There is no problem. But whatever described topic we have, you have to understand theoretically. So we require the real licenses to integrate the umbrella, DNS security and all. So that is not going to part of this because this is not required in this SD-WAN syllabus.
And cloud integration.
No, that is
That
also that is going to be like cloud on RAM. How it is going to be,
yes,
I'll
correct.
show you. But we require the API keys from the your providers. So if you have the API keys and you have the account on the GCP or maybe the Azure, I can do the integration for you. But we don't have that API key because that is not required in our learning point of view. But in production, if you require help, you want my help to do the integration live, you can share the credential. We can do that for learning point of view.
Okay.
We have the slides. How to integrate, I'll explain. So let me show you. The integration point, we have the proper roadmap, right? Let me show you. So Cloud on Ramp, if you want to see that, see, this is how it is going to be integrated. So let's suppose you want to integrate, right? So this key API key is going to require Amazon and all. So I can explain how and what information is going to require. Already have a slides and we cover theoretically, but practically we need that information.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
All right, Sanjay. Any other questions, guys? Anyone have, or we move forward? All right, so let me move forward. Now, let me explain how this SD-WAN is getting popular day by day. So what were the challenges earlier we have and how this SD-WAN is going to mitigate those challenges? So we'll understand the step by step and then we'll move next step. So let's take an example. In previous scenario, we have the router and it's got faulty. So what action you guys are going to take? for the replacement. So basically there are multiple options we take. First, we require to raise the RMA. That RMA request go with the Cisco, right? Once RMA is going to there, router is going to dispatch on the site. So on-site technician, that on-site IT engineers are going to rack and stack. Means they need to replace the router. So basically they are going to do rack and stack. So they're going to put in the rack, they're going to do the cabling and all. Then they have to connect the LAN cable on the router. They have to connect the WAN cable on the router. Then they have to connect the power. Power on is going to be required. Once this all activity is going to happen, what next? Still my router is.
Hello?
Yes, because.
So sorry to interrupt, sir. Sir, this is the first class, no?
Yes, we're starting. Still, we are just discussing the basic fundamental of the SD-WAN. There's no class happen, just basic discussion happen. Okay.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
you've not missed anything. We're just discussing still the basic concepts. Because
Okay.
I put lot of time on the basic concept in every classes. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
So still we not started the SD-WAN. We discuss the syllabus. Okay.
Okay.
So
Thank
the
you.
power on is going to be happen. Once power on is going to happen, then what is going to be required? You must have to arrange the configuration. Means which configuration? The router got faulty, that old config of that. Once that config is going to there, you have to align some NOC engineer who going to take your device remote access via WebEx or might be the Zoom or might be the Teams, and they will do the configurations. And for also that is required remote access. After that, you have to arrange some laptop should be there. Your console cable is going to be there, and also you require the FTP server. You need to download the iOS file, which iOS file is going to be required on the new router. So if router got faulty and you want to replace with the new one, you have to do a lot of steps to make them live. And even you are while doing these lot of steps, it's going to take sometime 1 to 2 hours. Sometime it's going to take even 6 to 8 hours. This depends. Sometimes data center doesn't have the internet, console cable is not working, FTP server is not getting installed, might be laptop have required some permissions. So you're reaching out the IT team, and when you're doing from the putty configuration, it's getting failed. So various type of challenges going to be happen when you're going to do this particular deployment. So how this life is going to be changed when I just use the SD-WAN router? If let's suppose I have not normal router and I have the SD-WAN router, then if I have to do the same process, how it is going to happen? So now this router is a SD-WAN router. And this router got faulty and we need to replace. Then what is the steps is going to happen? Definitely I required RMA request is going to be required. Once RMA is going to be there, on-site engineer must be required, right? Who is going to rack and stack, right? Just installation point of view. So he's going to do the installations. The third steps, the engineer have to connect the LAN and the WAN cables. That's also required. And the engineer have to do the power on the router. Rest all step not required. These all steps are not required. Once I'll do these all things, my router is going to be live, automatic going in service. So now might be you having a question how this magic is going to be happen. I have not done the configuration, no console, no iOS. Means simply, I got a very fresh router from the Cisco and I just connect the power cable and connect the LAN and WAN cable and install in the rack, and this is going to be live. So then something magic is going to happen. So exactly, it is the magic is going to happen. And this is why SD-WAN is too much popular. And that is known as the ZTP process, which is zero touch provisioning. So we'll see how this zero touch provisioning is going to work. But this kind of the feature we have available. Is it clear? This is the one example I'm just going to say. We have the other examples. Let me give any doubt in this particular slide, any explanations? Anyone have any doubt? All okay? What I explain?
Yep. So here we need some minimum configuration on the router, right? Before starting the GTP. Am I
No,
right?
nothing.
Not required.
It is going to be automatically come when router is going to be dispatched.
Only need a powered on and it will configure by the template, right?
Right.
So no
Yes,
need to
yes.
do the any minimum configuration.
So that configuration is going to required, okay, but that
Mhm.
configuration on router not required. You might be have done the previous configurations, right? And based on that previous configurations, it is going to take. But how it is going to happen? How the template and device template, feature template, guys who is new in the class, I'm sure you're not aware what is device and feature template, but Sanjay is my old student, so he aware about it. So just ignore what is asking. So there are concept we have to align our feature and device template. So we'll see how it is going to be integrated. Okay, Sanjay. So I'll explain later on.
Yeah, sure.
For time
Thank
being,
you.
this magic is going to happen. You don't have to do anything. Ben, you have any question? You have?
Yes, as the one router here means the one edge.
Yes, Vantage. That's the Vantage.
Okay,
Right.
thank you.
That's the Vantage.
Thank you.
So
Clear?
do we need to configure any WAN IP address on the router?
No, nothing.
Okay.
This is the magic. I'll explain how it is going to happen. Okay. This is known as zero touch provisioning. So we have the proper set of the rule and regulations, how it is going to take
That
automatic
only,
WAN IP
only
address, how to
DHCP
make
server
the.
is required for this JT process.
Sorry, Dhirendra.
I am telling you only DHCP server is required for this JTP process.
Yes. Welcome to the class, Dhirendra. So we'll see how DSCP server is going to be there, right? But yes, we have to enable DSCP functionality, so it is going to take IP address and all. So this is one example. So I hope everyone is able to digest this example, right? Give me thumbs up, you're able to digest. Let me move to the different examples. So we'll have 4 and 5 examples, then we'll back to the topic and slides. Second examples, how SD-WAN is going to change your life. Let's suppose you have one of the branch location here. This is the branch 1. This branch have the 2 ISP. One is the MPLS. One is the internet. So this is going to connect this way. Now let's suppose any applications hosted in my data center here. And these clouds might be further connected with the another cloud also, right? This is the MPLS cloud. And this is going to data center connected. This is my internet cloud. This is going to connect it. So we have the edge routers here. This is the R1, this is the R2. And here also we have the edge router R1 and R2. Behind this, we have the switch, and behind switch, we have the servers connected like this. S1, S2, and S3. Let's take an example. We have the user here. This is the switch again connected. And one user is connected with their PC, having IP 192.168.10.10/24. Now, these circuits are working as a active. What it means active and what it means active passive? Anyone know? If I'm going to say these circuits are working the active, that means what does mean?
Both are handling the traffic and activity, and active passive, that one is acting as a standby. if active is down, the standby will become the active.
Yes, definitely. That's the correct. So active means if I'm saying my link WAN circuits are active means both traffic having the traffic. Some traffic is going by the MPLS, some traffic going by the internet. And active passive means one link at a time is active, another link is going to be passive. If my primary link is going to be down, let's suppose this is my active, this is my passive. So if this link is going to be down, then only this traffic is going to fail over in this particular router, right? So this is the meaning of the active passive. So let's suppose we are talking about the active. We are sending the all internet based traffic, means any kind of the internet. Means somebody want to go on the google.com, somebody want to go for the DNS, global DNS, somebody want to do any kind of the Facebook traffic, any internet based traffic that is going via this link. Any, this is the internet, right? Internet traffic. And this is my intranet. What is intranet? Anyone know what is the internet? What is the intranet? Any idea? What is the intranet? What is the internet?
Intranet is the private network and the internet is the public network.
Yes. So guys who don't know what is the internet is means we are going from different network. Means internet means we have the home network. Home is my home network. And if within the home I'm talking my computer to the printer, that is my intranet network. Within the home I'm talking. Within the office I'm talking. That is my intranet network. If you're in the office, you're trying to access any printer, any local server, any kind of CCTV camera, any kind of the like WLC AP, that is going to your intranet. But when you're going to outside for the like network, that is the internet. So whenever we talk about the MPLS circuits, they technically work as the intranet because from that we have to access our private network. Okay. Sometime also we can access the private network for the internet, but generally we have to build some tunneling and all. But just think about this is my internet traffic, means my DC data center network I want to access. That is going via this way. Let's take an example with designer solutions. If my this link have any problem, still my internet traffic can reach via this internet circuit. And if this link have problem, still my traffic is going to reach from this. So we have the proper failover mechanism. Means any link is going to be down, my failover is going to work. That is the one scenario. There is eBGP might be running. We are running here eBGP. Here also we are running the eBGP. LAN we are running the might be the HSRP, VRRP, or might be any running EIGRP protocol. If you're not using some gateway level redundancy, you're running the iBGP, or you're running the OSPF. Any kind of the IGP protocol might be running. And if you're not running these all, might be running the first gateway redundancy protocol, all you're running all together. Means this HSRP along with the EIGRP, HSRP with the iBGP or the OSPF. Depend. It's totally how your network is going to be designed. Take an example. My link is getting down. That means my failover is going to happen. But my link is not getting down. Have some latency. Have some kind of the packet loss. Well, the failover is going to be happen in normal scenario. What do you guys think? Let's
In
say.
normal scenario, it will not, but in SD-WAN, it will.
So, yes, Sanjay. So, we are referring here for the SD-WAN only. So, I want to hear from the audience, new audience. What do you guys think? In normal scenario, what do you guys think? It is a failover is going to happen or not? What is your experience says?
No, it
SLA
won't.
is configured. If we have configured the SLA's threshold,
Uh-huh.
then there is a possibility, right?
Okay. So, if we monitor very SLA level threshold, then it is possible. Any other opinion? Muthu Saran, you want to say something?
No, Vishal, it won't happen because that fluctuation or it will give that some performance issue only. It will not give automatically fail over to that secondary automatically. It will not happen in the normal routing at all.
So yeah, that's correct, right? So SLA is we can configure some extent, but let's suppose this link is absolutely fine. we have issue in the cloud. That's why I draw here. Might be we have my server is hosted in the USA. I'm in India. Multiple ISP providers there, and the ISP provider having an issue. How you can track that IP address? Is it possible we can track? It's not possible, right? We can track every
We
cloud,
cannot.
every ISP.
No, we cannot track that actually. Apart from that service provider side, I mean, they need to look into their side and they need to coordinate. But we don't have that visibility to each and every service provider and where we need to coordinate with them. So we don't have that option and visibility in the normal routing part. Option.
Right. So
No,
the idea is like if we have any performance issue, any latency issue, any loss, jitter, the tracking failure is very difficult. And if you want to do the manual failure, then you have to engage your L2 engineer, sometime L3 engineer, because they should have the very good knowledge of the HSRP. They have the very good knowledge of the VRRP if it's running, or OSPF if it is running in your LAN, ESGRP running in the LAN, IBGP running in the LAN, and they have to understand what is the mutual redistribution concept, how the outbound inbound route map is going to be applied, path manipulation, how means if they have the very good knowledge of the routing, advanced routing, especially for the IGP and PGP, and the first hope redundancy gateway protocol, that is HSRP and VRRP, then they only can analyze your network and they can do the manual failover for in case of the performance issue, right? But still, even we are going for the manual failover, there is a high chance you can make an error. And again, when circuit is going to be restored, you have to roll back all changes. So that's the problem in the SD-WAN, right? That's the problem in the SD-WAN, and to miss, sorry, not SD-WAN, that was the problem in the WAN, right? Normal WAN, we're talking. And this has been solved by the SD-WAN. If we have the same scenario, we have the multiple router connecting with the ISP, and if they have the any performance issue, and if this my router is a SD-WAN, it will understand automatically my path quality is getting down or degraded, right? And it will do automatic failover. You don't require any kind of the human interference. Means you build your design, you connect your WAN circuits, you connect your LANs, your user are working. User before complain, your SD-WAN is going to understand this path having a problem and I need to do the failover. It will do on behalf of you. That's the beauty of the SD-WAN. So you don't require L2, L3 engineer go and check everything and then do the failover. Makes sense? Everyone understand? Raise your hand or speak up if any doubt.
Yes, sir.
Yes, Vishal. Yeah.
Okay. That's the second observation from my side, right? The third observation, the third thing, we have the same design again. Let's suppose this is my one branch location. This is the branch one. They have again ISP, right? The MPLS is going to be there. My internet is going to be there. Again, we have to make the connectivity with the data center. This is my data center where server is there. I connect with the router. If any user sitting behind and they are going to access the internet, do you have the security here? The switch is going to redirect the traffic to the router. This is my router. Let's suppose this is my router R1. This is our dual connectivity. They are going to, let's suppose, internet directly. Do you have any security? The answer is no, we don't have any security. So any kind of attack is going to be happen, any vulnerability, any file, that's a bad file which is going to download mistakenly from the internet, any kind of the DOS attack, any kind of the vulnerability, anti-spyware, antivirus, malware, advanced threats, it is not going to understand by your router and switches because they are the layer 2 or layer 3 devices. They cannot understand the higher level of the vulnerability applications and whatever the data you're sending. So how this problem is going to mitigate it? So to solve this problem, we have to apply the firewalls. So we have to include the firewall in their network design. So your network must have the firewall. Firewall after you must have the router, and behind that we have the switch. and then we have the actual users. So design can be vary, and then we have the links, whether ISP A or this is the ISP B, and then you have the connectivity, whatever you want to do that. So this firewall is going to take care. This firewall is going to take care of all your security requirement. This firewall might be the Cisco firewall. This firewall might be the Palo Alto firewall. This could be your FortiGate firewall. This could be your Checkpoint firewall. Any other vendor firewall. This firewall is going to be handle your traffic going to LAN to WAN and any traffic coming WAN to LAN. And they're going to make sure only legitimate traffic should be processed from my network. So that is going to add additional cost for you. And everything was there in earlier design. But this was for the WAN. And if I replace this router, as a SD-WAN router, this router, if I replace from this all designed via the SD-WAN router. So you are going to find, hold on guys. Let's suppose this is my SD-WAN router. So switch is going to connect here and this circuit are going to connect it. This SD-WAN router will give the firewall plus routing feature both. So whatever you have the firewall requirement, this router is going to solve your all firewall requirement, and this is going to just provide the any kind of the phishing attack, malware, anti-spyware, antivirus, vulnerability, DOS, or any kind of the port protocol and application you're filtering, you can do it here. So this is going to save a cost a lot. Make sense?
Sir, but like if SD-WAN is doing the firewall services also, so like what is the use of then Palo Alto and FortiGate then? Like it is providing the same advanced services like Palo Alto and FortiGate.
Yes, definitely. They are exactly similar to the next generation firewall.
Okay, okay. So all features will be there, URL filtering,
Yes,
threat
I will
prevention,
cover
everything. Okay,
everything. ATP is going to be there,
okay.
right? AMP is going to be there. URL filtering is going to be there.
Mm-hmm.
Application ID is going to be there. Everything is going to be there. But the question is going to be asked, if this SD-WAN solution is going to provide all feature, then why should I purchase the FortiGate? There's no
Right,
need.
yeah.
That's why if you go and buy the solution nowadays, Palo Alto based customer, they are not going to take Cisco SD-WAN solution. Palo Alto itself have the SD-WAN solution. So they integrate with the
Yeah.
firewall itself, right? So every vendor create a solution. If you take a service, whatever Cisco is offering, they will offer the same solutions. Means their Palo Alto firewalls now have the SD-WAN functionality. If you go in the Palo Alto firewall, let me show you. If I can log in. So this Palo Alto firewall itself, they integrated the SD-WAN solution. FortiGate similarly, I can show you the FortiGate as well. I need to change my firewall. So Cisco integrated security, Palo integrated the SD-WAN. So the customer, they can retain. Why are you going to leave me? I'm here to give you SD-WAN solution. Na? You purchase my box, I'll give the security plus SD-WAN both. So this is how market is happening. So every vendor is finding to retain their customers. So you're going to find here, there are, see SD-WAN interface profile. You can see here SD-WAN, right?
Yeah, SD-WAN, yeah.
So we can do the SD-WAN configuration and all. So we can completely do the SD-WAN integration with this particular Palo Alto firewalls, and it is going to work similar. Similar, FortiGate also done the same job. And if you talk about the Versa, they have the security features available. So that means if you go for the SD-WAN, every solutions, any vendor, they giving the integrated solution, security plus WAN. You don't have to rely on the two different vendors. Clear? Now the third thing, if you have the cloud integrations, that's the very popular, right? Let's suppose your application, earlier how the architecture was. Before this SD-WAN, we have the proper WAN solution, and in this proper WAN solution, how it is getting connected with the different applications. So all application was hosted in your on-premises data center. Earlier we have the data centers. So this is my DC, and might be have the DR. So my branch is, this is branch 1, this is the branch 2. So they might be going to connect via the ISP A and ISP B. They are going to connect. So only my all application was hosted in my data center locations only. It is not going to be, distributed the application in somewhere else in the cloud, some in private cloud, public cloud, SaaS application. Not. It was not earlier was the case. Means whatever you have the email exchange, that is in data center. SAP services, that is in data center. Any kind of the other AD services, that is in data center. But nowadays we have the many services, that is a SaaS solution, software services. In this SaaS, you are taking services from different vendor. Could be the Azure, could be the AWS, GCP, and other SaaS provider like we have the O365 as well. So you have to make reachability to these cloud providers. The challenge was if I want to make the connectivity with these providers, so I have to again take a lease line to all these cloud providers, or I have to make a tunnels. So that's going to be very complicated. Means you're going to make the secure connection with the tunnels, then you have to build the IPsec tunnels. And that IPsec tunnel are going to be very huge. It's not going to be agile, not going to be scalable, and it's going to be make a lot of complication for your network. But if I want to make simplify it and I want to use my tunnel as a MPLS L3 VPN tunnel I want to build, then it is going to be very costly for me. So the cost is going to be added. So one is adding the cost, another is adding the scalability issue. So how I can make them, very sophisticated where my all branches are going to be connected to the all data center locations and all cloud provider locations. So where SD-WAN is going to help you. You don't have to do anything. It is going to give the direct DIA. It is going to build the direct connectivity of your all kind of the service provider, SaaS service provider. You don't have to route the traffic from the central breakout data center and all. So directly from branch you can reach, and also they will make sure which path is performing better, which path is performing worst, and based on that they're going to take some decisions to just do the failover. And also they will maintain the firewall rule policy while connecting those applications. So proper filtering is going to be happen. So there are a lot of things you can see here. If you talk about the benefits of the SD-WAN, you can see it is going to boost your security that we discuss. Why SD-WAN? That is going to boost your security. That is going to lower down your complexity in terms of the configuration. What I just explained, the deployment. Cloud uses means if you have the earlier scenario WAN, you have to do a lot of kind of the cloud integrations. But here you can save a lot of cloud integration setups. Directly it is going to be enables. Cost is going to be reduced, and definitely performance is going to be improved. Why? Because automation, failover, everything is going to there. So definitely performance is also going to be increased. So these all we covered till now. Any questions? And also it is going to provide the zero touch provisioning. Any doubt in this particular 4 or 5 things which we discuss? How it is improving my performance, how it is boosting my security, how it is going to load on my complexity, enable the cloud usage, reduce the costs. Any feedback, any questions, guys? No? So I'm taking as a no. Now we have the few term here, that is the intent-based networking, predictable application experience, application-aware routing, and zero trust fabric. What does mean? So intent-based networking, if you talk about, if you are going to use the WAN solution, that can also do your WAN routing and everything, but that was not so agile, so flexible. So you not have the very flexibility. You can mold your traffic. You can do configuration as per your need, your organization need. That was not complex. It was a static, not dynamic. So you can see you're going to build a website. There is two type of website. One is a static website, one is dynamic website. So in static websites, you have the limited capability, means you cannot change a lot of things in static website. But if you talk a dynamic website, you can anytime you can change the websites. You can change the layout, you can change any parameters, any codings, but in static website, it is not possible. Similarly, intent-based networking means what I want, what I feel, as per that I can do the networking. Means if I have any use case in my organization, I want to solve that use case, I can go with the intent-based networking, that SD-WAN support, and I can do that, and it is going to solve my problem. Similarly, real time, whatever the applications my user are accessing, like SAP application, Citric application, FTP applications, any O365 applications, any AD-based application, any other application, I know what is my application utilization graph, what is my application latency, how much time the user is taking to open the application. So they have the full statistics, means based on the hours, based on the 30 minutes, based on the 24 hours, based on the 7 days, based on the, might be we have the uh, uh, 30 days or 6 months, 1 year. So based on that, we can claim to the ISP if the circuit is not performing well, or application owner, their application is not responding well, and we can take certain actions on that. So this is how it is going to happen, means you know how your application is performing, what is the loopholes, what is the problems, and accordingly you can take action on that. So this is known as the application aware routing. Clear? Sorry, predictable application experience. Now if I talk about the application aware routing, so what is application aware routing? That is, earlier whatever the routing you're doing, that based on the destination IP address. Whatever the you're doing the routing based on the destination IP address. Source based routing never happen. Source IP based routing, no routing automatic happen unless and until you are defining the PBR, right? But always routing happen based on the destination IP. But what if I want to do the routing based on the applications? Like I have the application is the Facebook. I want to do routing with the Facebook. Let's take an example. I have the R1 and I have the R2. This is my LAN switch. This is one user. This is the ISP1. I want this user Facebook traffic should go via this link, but YouTube traffic should go via this link. Instagram traffic should go via this link. My O365 traffic go via this link. Is it possible in the legacy situation? No, it was not possible, because legacy routing was only going to work on your destination based routing, means destination IP based routing. But here, based on the Facebook, based on the YouTube, based on the any kind of the other application, you can do the routing, and it is going to absolutely work from one ISP or via the another ISP. So this is a new feature we have, the application area, and we'll see the lab also how it is going to happen. I will demonstrate in the lab as well, so you're going to understand. Zero touch provisioning we'll discuss, and we'll do more deep dive. Means you have to do the router deployment. You don't have to worry about anything. It is going to be automatic deploy. You don't have to do any configuration. Now, last but not least, that zero trust fabric. What is zero trust fabric? So fabric is nothing, right? Let's take an example. This is our lab. So this is lab, right? So when you build your SD-WAN connectivity across the multiple region, means let's suppose one India region, one US region, one Germany region, one based on the Singapore region, or you can think about APAC, EMEA, US, like that. You can base on the regions and we make them connectivity. So when you have the SD-WAN connectivity, they build one fabric. So this is my one fabric. This is my fabric of SD-WAN. So fabric is nothing. It's just, connectivity of devices where you're running the SD-WAN features. Clear? So that fabric is going to include your legacy WAN infrastructure and then your new infrastructure, that is the SD-WAN. So that's why we have to understand how this fabric is going to be zero trust fabric. Zero trust means you don't have to trust any of the devices. That means, let's suppose this router want to talk to this router. This router want to talk to this router. It will not going to allow unless or until this router first take permission from vBond. Samjho, right? So zero trust means you don't have to trust anyone. You have to prove your identity before you speak anyone inside of my organization. Take an example. You are the very first day you have a joining of any company, right? You are going in a very first day and might be on reception of the company. The security personnel or might be receptionist is going to ask you, hey, where you want to go. So you must have to show your first identity as I'm the new joiner and this is my offer letter or this is my joining letter. Based on that, they are going to take in the HR room or they are going to allow first in the HR person. HR is going to verify your credentials first. Once she or he is going to verify your credentials, then only they are going to introduce you to managers, your TLs, or might be your colleagues. So vBond is actually, we'll discuss more detail. So zero trust fabric means every devices which is going to part of this fabric, they must have to first consultation with the vBond. That is a validator. And once he is going to approve, then you are going to talk to anyone. If he is not going to approve, you are not going to talk to anyone. So this is the meaning of the zero trust fabric. Means you have to prove your identity, then only you're going to talk with any other devices. So this is the how we have the definitions. An SD-WAN use the centralized control function to steer traffic securely, intelligently across the WAN directly to the trusted SaaS and infrastructure as a providers, IaaS. This increases the application performance and delivers a high quality user experience which increase business productivity and the agility and reduce IT cost. So these are the benefits and these are the summary of the SD-WAN. Why we require the SD-WAN. Any questions, any feedback, any suggestions, guys? Till around here.
Yes, clear, sir.
Any
Sir,
other?
sir, one thing like if we talk about fabric, so fabric is the word came from SDA only, right, sir?
No. SDA is like we have the SD access that is known
Yes,
as
sir.
SDA, right?
Mm-hmm.
ACI also have the fabric, SD-WAN also have the fabric. Fabric is nothing, it's just
Okay,
topology.
collection of devices only.
Collection of device topology, you can think like how the
Okay.
connectivity is going to build. Design, you can think about that is a fabric.
Okay.
We're making the
Okay.
connectivity.
Okay, sir. Yeah, sure.
So vBond here is acting as authenticator.
Yes, right.
Oh, okay. Okay, thank
So we'll discuss. But yes, he
Okay.
is the first point of contact. So we want as a validator, he must validate everyone. If vBond is not going to validate, you are not going to join the fabric. You're not going to allow to talk anyone. That's why Zero Trust Fabric is applicable here. Make sense?
Yes, thank you.
All right. Moving next, right? This were the challenges for your business ready WAN, right? Means business ready WAN means your legacy WAN. We have the complex operations, we have the high cost, limited scalability we have, no cloud app readiness was there, fragmented security, no inbuilt security was there, right? Limited application aware intelligence was there. There was no, you can do little bit application, N-bar based application route, you can do that. Insufficient bandwidth you have, and disjoint solution. It's not very standard solution you're going to deploy everywhere for the your business ready WAN. So these were the challenges, and this is how your SD-WAN is going to solve your all challenges, right? Now we have to understand how my Cisco router is going to become the SD-WAN router. That we have to understand. Before I can start, I would like to understand, because we are the very initial stage of 1 hour, I speak purely theoretical. You guys have any different mindset, anything coming in your mind out of the box you want to discuss? So I can just have a discussion on that, then we can move next. Or we are good? Everyone is happy till now. There's no problem at all.
I have one question, sir.
Yes, please go ahead.
So, as we can see, the typical routers, let's say for 7,000 series routers, they were having like the data control and the plan controls. The both things were the same at the same box.
Mm-hmm.
So how they are going to be differ from this SD-WAN solution with this from the old typical routers?
Okay, I will explain this, Dinesh. Good question. Any other? I'll take the Dinesh question. Any other questions anyone have till now coming in mind? Even not related. Because the beginning of session, say whatever doubt you have, please ask me. So I'll make sure you have the clear clarifications. You don't have any hurdles when we go for the deeper side. Any small questions even you have, please feel free to ask. Else I'll complete this data plane and control plane, how it is going to cover. So this was exactly I want to explain, and I take the pause to just make you the good understanding. So this is the same like you talk about the 7,000 series of router. So we have the 7,000 series of router 7604, Dinesh.
Okay.
When we talk about the layer 3 routers, right? Router basically going to layer through, or might be the layer 3 switch. These all devices have the similar kind of the concepts. Means they have three planes. One is the control plane, another is the IO module, and that is the your switch fabric. This IO module is basically your data plane. Okay, what is IO module? This is the input output module. So how basically when any legacy router was receiving the packet from any client, any device, what was the method he was just trying to process the packet? We have to understand this one concept, and then we'll see when the same packet is going to receive by the SD-WAN devices, how it is going to be processed that packet. So let's take an example. If one client is going to connect here, let's take it directly is connected. This is the PC A, and he have the IP address 10.10.10.10/24. He want to talk with another PC, PCB, that is going to be 20.20.20.20./24. So very first time this device want to talk to this network, they will form the packet. That is the IP packet, L3 packet. And these have the source IP address, destination IP address. What is my source IP address? 10.10.10.10. And what is destination IP address? 20.20.20. This packet is going to punt on this interface. That is a IO module. This packet is going to be input packet. That packet is an input packet. Once that is going to in on this particular fabric IO module, it will check the routing. Where routing is going to be installed? That is a control plane. So routing is your might be you have the connected route, right? You might be have the static route. You might be have the OSPF, EIGRP. You have the BGP, anything you are going to configure. Based on that, this routing decisions, it is going to decide where my packet needs to be out. Which port actually I need to send packet out. So you can see this is the one module. This is the another module. 1 and 3, but they are not connected to each other. They have the separate chassis, separate kind of the planes available. So how this decision is going to be happen? And then finally this router is going to know I have to switch back packet from this interface. So this is how router is going to be make this connectivity by using the switch fabric. So you can see we have the switch fabric here. This switch fabric is going to basically act as a broker between this my control plane and data plane devices. Means data plane and control plane units. So when you insert this card, it is going to connect in the back plane in this way. So this is going to connect in this way. This is going to connect in this way. Just think about. And this is also going to connect this way. So these are going to make a full circuit. Electric circuit. So that means whatever the packet is going to come on this interface, by using this packet, they will go via this and they will come to the control plane. And this is known as the brain of the router. So by using this concept brain of the router, what is going to happen? This is going to process and it is going to check the routing table, what destination it want to go. And based on that destination, it will forward the packet from the your actual exit interface and it will going to reach to the destination. So this is how your switch fabric, control plane and data plane are going to be connect to each other, and this is known as the closed box architecture. Closed box architecture means you have the brain plus data plane plus switch fabric together. Brain is your control plane. Clear till here? So any packet is going to be punned, it is going to process in this way, and this is simply going to consult the brain, and after consulting the brain, it is going to punt to the actual exit interfaces. Any questions anyone have? A routing table is going to take your routing decisions. Now, if I want to decouple these solutions, I want to decouple this solution means I want to decouple this box. That means I have to put one place as a my control plane, one separate location I'll put my switch fabric, and third separate location I can put as a IO module. That is my data plane. This might be in USA. This might be across the multiple country, even the USA, even the India, even the other APEC country, and this might be my Singapore-based branch. So these are the three different locations might be connected with a different kind of the connectivity, but still they are going to do the same process what router was doing by using the same concept. That solution is known as the your SD-WAN solution. Means your work has been same. You still have to do the control plane communication. You have to do the data plane communications. You have required some kind of the broker which is going to act as a switch fabric. Still you have to process the traffic. That is known as something your SD-WAN solution. And this is the what we have the next slides. So we just decouple this solution, single router, and put in this way. Now you see this SD-WAN architecture. So in this architecture, we have the switch fabric still available. We have the IO module still available. And still we have the control plane devices. But they are not within the box. They are located in different locations. Might be this my control plane are sitting in the USA. Switch fabric is nothing your ISP. So ISP, like you have the MPLS circuit, you have the internet circuits, you have the 4G, 5G LTE, and then finally you have the IO modules. That is your actual edge router, which is sitting in the different location and they are going to connect. So we have to put a lot of discussion on here because we have to understand how this architecture is going to work, what is the pros and cons is going to happen, how basically my controller is going to connect with the data blend devices. So because of that, you can see in lab also, we have the controller. These are the ISP. So these are going to be act as my controller. This is the brain. These are the ISP. This is going to be act as a switch fabric. And these are the router that is acting as a IO module. So these router doesn't have the capability. They do not have the local brain for the SD-WAN. The brainless routers means if you have to go any kind of the communication they want to do that, they must have to consult with your controller. Then it is going to be possible to that particular communication. Clear, guys? समझ आया? Everyone clear till here? Any question? Okay, so I don't want to talk too much theory today because I know like I can speak 1 more hour totally theory, but it's not going to be digested. So we have to understand slowly in initial stage, and then we'll move in the fast phase. When we start doing the lab, so we have some breathing space. We can have the dual communication, so we can make more session interactive. But I believe for now, if you're able to digest why this SD-WAN is important, what was the legacy router architecture and how has been changed in the SD-WAN architecture, what was the problem with the the WAN solution and how it has been improved with the SD-WAN. I believe that is the enough for today.
Sir, can you click on that slide again, SD-WAN architecture?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have any question, please feel free to ask, right? Else, I believe we are good for today. Okay, we'll continue again from next session where we'll discuss actual controller deployment process. I'll start from here. Let me show you. So we'll start from here in next session. I will explain very detailed.
Yeah, I have a one question before moving forward.
Yes.
Yeah, so where is the management plane? It is also in the control with the vManage, right? Control plane and the management plane sitting together.
Just 1 minute. So we are here right now, okay? We are discussing this normal router which have the management plane, control plane, data plane, everything is there.
Correct. Mhm.
So this is going to be like change in this way. So in controllers, right, we have the different devices, which is going to be discussed in the next class. Okay. There is orchestration plane, management plane. So management plane is also going to part of the control plane only, which is the separate device. vManage is going to act as the management plane devices.
Means overall, we are going to decouple the control plane and the management plane from the input-output module. That is,
Yes.
I am understanding. Yeah.
Right.
Okay, great. Got it. Thank you.
Thank you. So guys, जिसने भी enroll नहीं किया especially, please enroll yourself because this is the last class. Okay. So if you're not going to enroll, probably you're going to miss the sessions in upcoming. So who all are not enrolled, right? They are waiting for complete the enrollment process. I would request complete it today only. So probably we'll create the credentials, we'll give the video access, everything. Who already enroll, ignore that, right? Or already my old student, they are ignore that. But who is not new, who want to just join this batch, enroll, please enroll yourself today only. So you're going to get lab access and everything. Connect with the counselors and discuss with them. One
Sorry,
important
Chris,
yes.
I didn't get it right. I didn't understand exactly what you said about the enrollment.
Sorry.
I did not understand the last statement you made about enrollment.
So you already enrolled Ben, right? For this session.
Yes.
Yes, that's ignore. It's not applicable for you. I'm talking with other
Okay. All
who
right.
not enrolled. Okay, you just ignore this as a statement. No worry.
All right. Thank you.
So one more thing, guys. Based on the request, a lot of engineers requested me today. Can we push this batch by 1 hour back, 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. India time? So the slot I'm in discussion. So probably from next week onward, we're going to have 1 to 3:30 p.m. IST because there are a lot of requests. Engineers are requesting to just change a little bit timing so they can enjoy with family in evening hours in India. So we're planning for this one. So this is for the 1 p.m. to 3:30 p.m. IST. Earlier it was 2 p.m. which we start class to 4:30 p.m. This class timing we decided 2.5 hour slots, but now we just preponing for the 1 hour. So you guys are going to get updated Zoom link from the next session onward. We'll update. If everyone is agreed 2 p.m., then it's fine. If some confusion is going to be happen, then definitely we'll just shift 1 hour so everyone can enjoy the evenings. So I believe it's a Sunday, so there is no problem is going to happen for anyone. All right. So this is just a minor update and rest. Next week, we will start from here. Let me give you the idea. We'll start from because we understand this traditional WAN and we will discuss this Viptela secure extensible and I'll compare with the Catalyst SD-WAN as well. So let me show you. This is a Catalyst SD-WAN. So I will explain how Catalyst WAN is going to be. Let me show you. So don't miss any single session. So you can see there is the manager. I will explain the full story. What is the manager, controller, validator, and manage, and we'll understand. And we'll just compare with the SD-WAN solution. So you have the full understanding. That is one thing. Another thing, we'll understand one by one features. What is the Cisco vBond? What is the vManage? And what is my control plane devices? That's just and data plane device. This is my Cisco edge router. Most important, we have to understand tunnel type. So in this SD-WAN, we have the lot of type of tunnels. Trust me, there are a lot of type of tunnels. We have the BFD tunnel. We have the IPsec tunnel. We have the OMP tunnels, right? We have the DTLS tunnel. We have the TTLS tunnel. We also sometimes known as the control tunnels, right? We have the data tunnels. So these are the different concept we have to understand which devices are going to build what type of tunnel and what is the use. So I would request everyone do not miss complete your enrollment today itself and get the study materials and start your learning. Okay. So I believe we are good. See you in the next class. Thank you, everyone. Tell me any questions if you have anyone still.
Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know. I could not register the platform.
You just have to, let me tell Ben. So what you have to do that you just have to go on this website. Let me put here. You just have to do the sign up. Okay.
Yeah, the sign up, it said the password, that's not much, but my password was exact. The password and the confirmation of the password, it was telling me that it's not matching, but there was no mistake also.
So you done the sign up, but password is not matching, right?
Yes.
So you're getting option to reset your password.
Yeah, you see, when I finish, I try to sign up. It doesn't get, it's not active to sign up. The sign up symbol is not active, but there was no
Okay,
mistake
just do
also.
one thing. Do you have any other email account available with you?
My mail account?
Means you have any other email ID? We'll do the backend enrollment for you.
I've
We'll
sent to your, I don't know, what is the HR or
just do one thing. Just do one thing. Let
Mhm.
me tell you the solution.
Okay.
You see this number?
Yes.
Just send your WhatsApp email. We'll check, okay, on this number.
Okay, let me
Okay.
check it right away.
I'll ask someone to check that. I will help you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. See you again, guys. Enjoy the rest of your day. Bye bye. Take care.
Thank you.
Okay.